The muscles that move our body are called our hip flexors. Our ability to sit, stand, twist, reach, bend, walk, and step is all under their control. Imagine feeling like your body is too tight to move comfortably, like a stretched rubber band about to snap. That's how some women feel when their hip flexors are tight. Let's take a closer look at how tight hip flexors affect women. Let's start with number 9, lower back pain. Imagine your hip flexors as a group of muscles in your hip area that help you move your legs. When these muscles get tight, they can pull on your lower back, causing discomfort. Sitting for a long time can make this worse because it keeps your hip flexors in a shortened position. So when you stand up after sitting for a while, those tight hip flexors can tug on your lower back muscles. This tugging or pulling can lead to pain or discomfort in your lower back. It's like a tug of war happening inside your body between your hip flexors and lower back muscles. And the longer you sit, the tighter those hip flexors can become, making the pain worse. Sometimes, even just standing up from a seated position can trigger this discomfort. Stretching and moving around can help relieve some of this pain by loosening up those tight hip flexors. So if you feel lower back pain, especially after sitting for a while, it could be a sign that your hip flexors need some attention. Number 8, hip pain. Think of your hips as the area where your legs meet your body. When your hip flexors are tight, it can feel like there's a squeezing or discomfort in that area. This sensation can become more noticeable when you're doing activities like walking, running, or going upstairs. That's because these movements rely on your hip flexors to work properly. When they're tight, they don't move as freely, causing pain or tightness. It's like trying to open a door with a rusty hinge. It doesn't move smoothly. Climbing stairs can be even tougher because it requires lifting your legs higher. Sometimes, this pain can even radiate down into your thighs or buttocks. Number 7, difficulty standing straight. Before we jump to the next point, to keep this channel going, please hit the subscribe button. It truly makes a difference. Thank you. Standing straight means keeping your body upright with your back and legs aligned. But when your hip flexors are tight, it can feel like there's a pulling or tension in your hips. This tension makes it hard to stand up tall and straight without feeling uncomfortable. It's like there's a force pulling you forward, making it difficult to maintain good posture. You might find yourself leaning forward slightly to relieve some of that tension. Or you might feel like you can't stand up as tall as you'd like because of the discomfort. This can affect how you walk and move, as your body tries to compensate for the tightness in your hip flexors. Sometimes, you might even feel aching or stiffness in your lower back because of this strain. So if you're finding it hard to stand tall without feeling discomfort in your hips, tight hip flexors could be the culprit. Number 6, pain during exercise. When you exercise, your body moves in different ways, like bending, stretching, and lifting. But if your hip flexors are tight, these movements can cause pain or discomfort in your hips. Activities like lunges or squats put extra strain on these muscles. So, when you do these exercises, it can feel like there's a pulling or tightness in your hip area. It's like your hips are saying, "Hey, we're not happy with this." This discomfort can make it harder to perform the exercise properly, or even discourage you from doing it altogether. It's important to listen to your body and not push through the pain, as it could lead to injury. Stretching your hip flexors before and after exercise can help prevent this discomfort. So if you're feeling pain or discomfort in your hips while exercising, it might be a sign that your hip flexors need some attention. To fix your tight flexors, there is an easy program designed by injury specialist Rick that you can start using right away. Please find the program link in the description below. It helps you release your hip flexors quickly, giving you more strength, better health, and energy that lasts all day. Number 5, trouble sleeping. When you sleep, you usually like to find a comfortable position, right? But if your hip flexors are tight, it can be hard to get cozy, especially when lying on your side. That's because lying on your side puts pressure on your hips. It's like trying to relax on a bumpy mattress. So, instead of drifting off to dreamland, you might find yourself tossing and turning, trying to find a better position. This can lead to disrupted sleep patterns, meaning you might wake up frequently during the night. Feeling uncomfortable can also make it harder to fall asleep in the first place. So if you're having trouble sleeping, especially on your side, tight hip flexors could be to blame. Number 4. Feeling tired easily. Imagine your hip flexor muscles as the engines powering your legs. When these muscles are tight, they have to work harder to do their job. It's like trying to drive a car with the brakes partially on. This extra effort can wear you out more quickly, even with simple activities like walking or standing. You might feel tired or exhausted, even if you haven't done much. It's like your body is saying, "Hey, can we take a break?" This fatigue can make it challenging to stay active or motivated throughout the day. You might find yourself needing to rest more often or feeling less energetic overall. Stretching and releasing tension in your hip flexors can help reduce this strain and fatigue. Number 3. Poor posture. Picture your body standing up straight like a tall tree. But when your hip flexors are tight, it's like a gentle tug pulling you forward. This tug of war makes it harder to keep your body upright. You might start to lean forward or slouch without even realizing it. It's like your body is leaning towards the finish line, but you're not quite there yet. This can affect how you sit, stand, or walk throughout the day. People might notice that you're not standing as tall as usual. Plus, slouching can put extra pressure on your back and neck, leading to discomfort. Stretching your hip flexors can help loosen them up and improve your posture. So, if you're noticing yourself leaning forward or slouching more often, tight hip flexors could be playing a part. Number 8. Digestive issues. Your digestive system is like a factory inside your body, breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. But when your hip flexors are tight, they can squish your internal organs a bit. It's like squeezing a balloon. Things don't flow as smoothly. This squeezing can affect how your digestive system works. Some women might notice they feel bloated or gassy more often. It's like your stomach is feeling a bit cramped. Others might have trouble with constipation, meaning it's harder to go to the bathroom. It's like the traffic jam on the way to the exit. Stretching your hip flexors can help give your organs more room to do their job. Number 1. Muscle stiffness. Your muscles are like rubber bands that stretch and move your body. But when your hip flexors are tight, those rubber bands feel more like stiff rods. This stiffness can make it harder to move your legs smoothly. It's like trying to bend a stick instead of a flexible rope. It can feel like your body is saying, "I'm not ready to stretch yet." You might even feel it when you're just sitting still. Stretching exercises can help loosen up those stiff muscles and improve your flexibility. So, if you're feeling stiffness or tightness in your hips and thighs, tight hip flexors might be the cause. Picture yourself moving around like a robot in desperate need of oil. That's your future without some TLC for your hip flexors. If you keep ignoring them, your hip flexors might start a rebellion, and trust me, they can be quite dramatic. Please check out our next video above. See you shortly in the next video.